Hey, it's so bringing you not the World of Warcraft, but instead just a channel update. It's so lazy. I'm even bringing my mic up to my face, so it's just kind of easier for me to project. Haha. So how are we doing since the previous channel vlog thing, where I just kind of QQ'd and tried to sing and just kind of bitched about how the channel's falling. Like, how's it doing now? Pretty much the same thing, haha. Yes, it does suck that the quality, at least in my opinion, the quality of the videos has been going up while the everything else, like the subscribers, the revenue, the views, and whatnot, the growth there has slowed considerably. And really, I have no one to blame but myself. If I look back, I did look back at November, and I looked at some of the more popular videos that I had done, and then what I had did since then. Like in November, I did a couple of guides and like one or two list videos, and some other videos that kind of blew up. But during the month of December, I didn't really put my focus there. In fact, I think that's kind of the core of the problem with my channel. I just try to do too much stuff at once. There's a bit too much variety, and in the whole YouTube space, having this much variety, trying to be the jack of all trades, is definitely a detriment to absolute growth. I've noticed that that channels that are really focused on like a single subject, they thrive much better than a channel like mine has. Or because I'm not hot, or of European descent, or both. But no, at least from the data that I've been looking at, it just feels like I diversified too much. So I'm going to try to rein things in and basically try to do less of certain things and more of other things. So that way, the whole thing that I talked about in the previous vlog where I'm like, oh, I want to be known as that guy that does this and this, I haven't executed on that at all this month. I was just kind of all over the place. I'm all over the place now. Like, I'm in the process of doing a Legion kind of review so far. And in fact, I'm pretty close. Well, I'm this close to just axing the thing because, well, what place would that fill right now? I don't think there's really a lot of folks that would just really care about, one person's review of Legion, even if I were to put like some amazing quality into it. It just might not get the kind of attention that I'd want it to deserve. So there are numerous topics that I cover, and you can see them like on like the different playlists, for example, but I'm just reading them off right here. I do the weekly news on Friday. I do the YouTube featurettes, where I promote other YouTubers. I have my video essays where I discuss opinions, philosophies, kind of like things on game design. There's the monthly Powcast, which I'm late for, or at least, it's a monthly thing, and it's the new month and I still don't have one yet. There's the gameplay specific stuff as a subject matter expert on being a tank, and as a gold maker with a sub focus on inscription. And then there's the more in-depth features and guides to like random things that I think should be shared with people. And there are lists, top 5s, top 10s, top 17s of just stuff that I'd also like to share. So it's a lot, even more than one person can do, even though this is the only thing that I'm doing right now. Now, there's a balance to be struck between all of these, but the problem that I've had is that I've tried to balance all of them kind of sort of equally, and it failed. Straight up. So some things have just either got to go, or they have to be put on the back burner, or I need to, dedicate less time to them so I can focus on other things that people just might find to be more attractive. So here's the production plan that I'm proposing for you guys. And to be honest, I'm just kind of thinking of this as I'm recording right now. And I'd like to get your guys' thoughts because people who are watching this are probably subscribers, so I'd really appreciate your input, as well as, of course, and this is the best space for to provide it, your guys' input, thoughts, feedback, happy thoughts, criticisms, and all that. So my whole WoW YouTube featurettes, it does take up a lot of bandwidth because I am watching these channels and I'm trying to take snippets as to what kind of personalities that these people are. But I do like doing it. I do have a passion to try to bring the community together and try to establish more relationships and maybe like do collaborations and things like that, even though I don't have a damn clue what the hell I would do. One thing that I did with this round was focus on a primary subject, so that way people who are interested in that subject, and in this case it was gold, they would be like, oh, this guy's promoting gold YouTubers, okay, let's take a look and see. But I do think that was a lot more effective than the way that I chose channels before. It was basically, oh, these number of people chose it at around this time frame, I'm just going to feature these people. I think taking these subject related channels is a lot more effective. It is a much better service to the channels themselves. Hopefully gets them a little bit more exposure. And from the analytics that I've seen, it looks like that's worked. So YouTube feature videos, that's going to stay for sure. Especially because I do it every like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. Maybe I can space them out just a little bit more to kind of keep things a little fresh. And on a final note on that, thank you guys for providing me like the links and all these channels. It's actually opened up my eyes to kind of realize and self-actualize on my own. Okay, these are people that are, you know, blowing up. You know, I would even get like jealous of, oh man, you know, this and this person is like, you know, they're exploding, and I'm like trying really hard. What's going on? So I'm learning lessons from watching these other YouTubers, and again, I want to thank you guys for being a big part of that. The tanking related stuff is definitely something that I want to push a lot harder. I think I've made some meaningful strides with the tanking guides, but that's like super specific. It's like, okay, it's already raiding, that's pretty specific. Then it's tanking, that's even more specific, and now it's paladin tanking. So that's like a little teeny tiny niche. So I think what I'd like to do, and hopefully this new approach of mine will give me more bandwidth to actually play the damn game. I want to be able to play the game more and get into, like, of course, Keystone Dungeons, so I can start doing, you know, tips and tricks kinds of things, or at least kind of walkthroughs, and then I'll kind of talk my way through, you know, what I'm doing, what's on my mind as I'm doing some of these dungeons. You know, oh my god, that guy pulled, what a dick, that sort of thing. I really want to finish the Paladin tanking guide sooner, but yeah, I guess I want your input on this. But it's hard. Now, we did finish Heroic Croesus just the other day, so we're 6 of 10. I still got 4 more bosses to go, but at the same time, I'm like, oh man, I don't want the content to be like too irrelevant before I finish, and you know, maybe like a month or so before the next, you know, the next patch or the next tier of rating comes out. But at the same time, it would feel like an injustice, and it would be, you know, damn near dishonest, or at least it'd be pretty pathetic for me to release a normal guide for Gul'dan. Woo! I really would rather do a heroic guide, and I guess it would help if I would just progress faster, but I'm not going to force my guild to be like, hey, we got to get this thing done faster. I'm going to push you guys and drive you guys into the ground because I want to do a guide. Kind of a fucked up motivation, you know? But if I feel compelled to, I won't mind doing 2 videos, you know, one where I do the normal mode, and then the other when I get to the heroic mode, whenever my team and I get to it. And to be honest, making the tanking videos is not hard. I mean, I'll probably push some other work off so I can get the Croesus video done either today or tomorrow. But I would like to get your thoughts. Like, should I do a normal and then a heroic guide, or should I just wait until I kill this thing on heroic and then I'll do, you know, just one guide for each? The guides are also something that I want to work on, but one of my, I guess, prime directives of this channel is to do things that I like doing. And there are guides that I'd like to make. Obviously, I made one just the other day, but I look around and I see guides for like farming pets and mounts and like soloing content, and those are all cool. Those fit a space, but they're not immediately interesting for me. I guess one thing to ask you folks is if there are certain things that you would like to see a guide for, you know, something that just hasn't, I'm looking for a space that hasn't been filled in that regard. But to follow up with that, there's the whole gold making kind of thing, which, you know, it's a thing that I do, but I'm not quite sure how I want to express that. I have made a number of videos that for the most part cover just about everything that I do when it comes to making gold as a scribe. So the idea that I have is not exactly like a gold making challenge, you know, let's race to 20 million gold or anything like that, because that's not my playstyle. My playstyle is extremely casual. The whole point of my gold making is that I want to have as little hands-on time as possible, but still generate a decent amount of gold. Like, for example, when the WoW token came out, I think that was early February, and since then I've generated about 600 grand in profit or so, because, well, I had pretty much no money because I spent it all on game time and refilling the BattleNet balance. But now I'm at a decent spot again, and, you know, maybe it'd be worth kind of doing a sort of diary, just a quick little thing, you know, hey, this is what I'm doing, hey, this is the kind of gold that I've been making, ooh, you know, here's the drama that I'm running into with these vendors. And I don't know, would you guys be interested in something like that, or are you guys interested in just more of the like best gold making practices, or teaching you guys how to kind of make a spreadsheet, or I don't know. What I do know is that I am capable of generating a decent amount of gold with with as little playtime as I can get away with. I'm not as interested in something like massive chest opening events, but I want to get your guys' thoughts on what you would like to see from me in that subject, if anything. So I have another section here that kind of goes over lists as well as just kind of random stuff like what if videos, what if, Thrall was a woman, or, okay, that's not really a subject of mine, but that's just, that's just an example, what if videos, and lists like top 20 dungeons, top 5 NPC things, the top 1 WoW players that Taylor Swift should date. I've come to like and have a desire to do those. They're more whimsical. They're not easy. I don't make them easy for myself, but I do like that they're a little bit more lighthearted. They try to promote discussion and things like that. I'm down for that. I'd like to do more of those as kind of like a filler content, not a throwaway, but just something to let you guys know that, hey, I'm doing stuff. There are fun things that I like to share with you guys. Which brings me to the last 2 things, which is Warcraft Weekly, the Friday news, as well as my video essays, my opinions. And regarding the opinion essays and philosophies and stuff, I really like doing it. It's pretty much the reason why I made the channel, because I feel like that I feel like I try to bring a balance in otherwise controversial subjects, because of course there's people that lean a certain way, either super negative, who just want to yell and scream at the camera and and rile up their base, or you have things that are overly positive, which are like basically things that are produced by Blizzard. And I'll toot my horn, I think I do a good job of effectively saying nothing, just presenting arguments, from this side and this side, bring them together, share some of my own opinions, whatever they are. But in the end, try to promote some conversations. But I think that approach, the thing that I like doing is kind of a failure. What most of these, not all of them, but what most of these video essays are basically wall of text forum posts. But the real failure in these video essays is that it takes up space that is already occupied by the news. The news. Why did I say it like that? The news, which I do every Friday. This week is going to be my 33rd thing on doing the news, and I could just save my opinions and whatnot for that. Of course, the problem with that is that the news is wildly unscripted, so there are a lot of effective points that I won't be able to make, but I think that's better. So Warcraft Weekly is going to be, again, it's going to be the news, but I'm going to inject opinions, but, in such a way that I'm just going to do like more simple bullet points and not be like too in depth like some of the video essays are. And the aim of that is to, one, provide information, but 2, to very strongly encourage discussion. So what this channel aims to be, the World of Warcraft that I want to give you guys, is the kind of word that helps you guys, and girls, don't forget them, stupid. My aim is to help you guys succeed without stressing about it. I'll show you how to make hopefully hundreds of thousands of gold a month without having to farm for 3 to 5 hours a day. I'm going to share my insights and my expertise as a paladin tank and help you build a foundation of skill that'll get you through dungeons and raids. I'm going to give you the news and updates every Friday and get you guys talking about it and share some opinions of my own. I also want to help you get through whatever's coming next, guides on new features and things that you should probably know in order to survive. So that's the foundation of what I want the channel to be. Of course, I'm going to continue to upload as much stuff as I can, but just with a lower priority. So you're still going to see YouTube features from me. You're still going to see, different fun lists. And if there's something that I feel really strongly about, then I'll set aside the time to do a full-on video essay, big opinion piece to really break down arguments of whatever the hell it is that I'm talking about. So after talking about all that stuff, it sounds like nothing's really going to change because I'm pretty much still going to do everything. It's just that the ratios of what I'm going to be, doing this content versus this content is going to change. And, I'd love to get your guys' thoughts, because in the end, it's really you guys that help steer the ship. I just kind of execute as to what's working or not working, or at least now I'm trying to execute on what's working and not working. So I'll need your guys' help. I'd love to get your guys' input. And the last thing I want to talk about, because I guess it is still kind of a secondary thing, is the stream. As I get to this new production schedule, I'm going to see how I can fit streaming into it a little bit more than just the Tuesdays and Thursday nights that I raid with my guild. But I'm curious about what sort of content that you would like to see during these other streams. Like, do I want to do myself, haha. Do I want to showcase myself doing mythic dungeons? Should I just like be, I don't know, farming for herbs or doing auction stuff while I'm just chatting with you guys? I mean, I wouldn't mind any of that, you know, just for the sake of answering questions and just kind of shooting the shit. But since at the moment the stream audience is very small, I don't mind having you guys influence me and try to kind of steer me in a direction that you guys like. So I think that is finally all that I wanted to talk about. So I wanted to thank you guys for making it to the end of this video. I really appreciate you guys watching this and listening. And if you guys have any input, again, I would thank you. I would be very, very thankful for that too, because I want to win, I want to succeed, and I can't do it without your guys' help. Share your thoughts, your concerns, your praises, your criticisms, and thanks for giving me a chance. I'm Solo. Stay breezy, guys. Yeah.